It's Who's In, Who's Out on 97.3 ESPN FM, South Jersey's football station.
It's one of our favorite segments of the week. It's Who's In and Who's Out. Which teams do we think are going to make the NFL playoffs? Pete Thompson, Josh Hennig, our 12 NFL teams who will be in the NFL playoffs based on this week's results. These are the opinions of this show. Let's start off with the AFC East, where, guys, we've got an interesting storyline. Every week we just throw the Pats in there, but we've got 3-2 Bills. We've got 3-2 Jets. We've got 2-2 Dolphins and 3-2 Patriots. Who do you like in the East? Is it the Patriots? Everybody.
Patriots still, even though they would have lost had Nick Folk been able to kick field goals accurately. Josh.
It's definitely Patriots. I mean, the Jets have a minus 0.4 points against on the season.
They've won 3 in a row.
They're minus 18 on the season. Meanwhile, the Bills, they lost to the Bengals. Come on, man.
All right, let's go to the North, where we got another interesting thing battling here. We got the Steelers with all sorts of issues. The Ravens, who have been awful for 2 weeks, they go on the road and win a game. The Bengals have now won 2 in a row. And then there's the Browns, but 3 teams in play. Josh Hennig, who do you got?
Steelers still plus minus is still at a 10. Ravens are in the minus category. Bengals are barely a +1. And nobody believes in the Browns.
I've had the Steelers in that spot every week since week 1. They're out. Baltimore's in.
Whoa!
When you have a quarterback standing up there going, yeah, maybe I don't have it. When you've got a running back standing up there going, we don't run the ball enough. When you've got a head coach standing up there yelling at his guy for standing in the tunnel, there's some dissension amongst the ranks.
Yeah, there's something to be said for what's going on in Pittsburgh. They got to have some kind of problems going on in that locker room. However, I don't believe in the Ravens. The Bengals, however, since they fired their offensive coordinator, they are 2-0. They are a +1. I'm not ready to go Bungles yet, but keep an eye on them. Steelers in the North. Let's go to the South, where we've got a 3-2 Jaguar team leading the way. We've got a 2-3 Houston Texans, a 2-3 Tennessee Titans team, and a 2-3 Colts team. All 4 teams in play. Pete Thompson.
You called me on it yesterday, and you were accurate. I was in on the Jags early. I dropped them out. I shouldn't have. They are the most talented team, especially with the injuries that Houston suffered on Sunday Night Football. The Jags are a +56 in point differential. Their defense, 83 points against. That's very low through this point of the season. Jaguars win the South.
I believe in Deshaun Watson way more than I believe in Blake Bortles. I believe Blake Bortles will find a way to lose his team a couple games. They've been very fortunate to play some teams in disarray, the Ravens, the Steelers. When they play some real teams, I mean, first of all, they lost to the Jets. But they'll play some real teams down the road this season, and they'll get beat up, where Deshaun Watson threw 5 touchdown passes versus the Chiefs. I'm buying Watson, not Bortles.
They're going to need to throw 5 touchdown passes because no Watt, no Merciless. Their defense is going to take a big-time hit. The Jags are a +56, guys. Now, a lot of that's because they won 44-7, so let's take that into account. What happened to the Titans? They've given up 142 points on defense this year, and they could be without Mariota again. The Colts living in the weeds? Could they get Andrew Luck back within striking distance? Not so fast. Houston wins the South because of the rookie Watson. They've also got weapons on offense. That's going to be an 8-8 division winner in the South. Let's go to the West. The Chiefs are undefeated. The Broncos are in play. Could Carr save the Raiders? Josh Hennig, what say you?
The Chiefs are right now in the driver's seat to win the division. It's their division to lose right now. The Raiders are at 2-3. The Broncos, they're a very good team, but their offense is still lagging a little bit behind. So I'm going to stick with the Chiefs again this week for the division.
When you're right, Mike Gill, and you were right on Kansas City early, and you've been right on them the whole way. I had them in there last week. I have them in there again. They're the best team in all of football right now. Everything is clicking for them. I have the Chiefs winning the West.
I had the Chiefs at the start of the year, and I'm not moving my position on that. I think they are the best team in the NFL, and I got them winning the West. But the wild cards, my friends, the AFC, a lot more difficult to find 2 wild card teams, but someone's got to beat them. Pete Thompson, who will they be?
Well, I have Denver in as a wild card, the top wild card spot, because I do think the Broncos are talented enough. They're 3-0 so far at home. I think their point differential is good, +24. I've dropped them, or I've put them in ahead of Oakland. Oakland's too much in flux right now. So I have Denver in, and then I have Pittsburgh in. You can't take the Steelers from winning the AFC North every week and then drop them all the way out of your poll, right? You can't take them all the way out, although they do go to Kansas City next. And if the Pittsburgh Steelers fall to Kansas City, the Chiefs go 6-0, and the Steelers drop to 3-3, they're probably going to drop out of my wild cards. But Denver, Pittsburgh, my 2 wild cards, Josh.
Guys, you know I've been a believer in the Broncos from day one, so I got to stick with the Broncos in the 1 slot for the wild card. I have one of my 2 changes this week. My number 2 team in the wild card is the Jaguars, because I sat there and went through the schedule and figured something out. And it dismays me, but I have to admit it. Do you know that if the season ended after week 8, projecting what's going on right now, the Jaguars would make the playoffs solely because they own all the tiebreakers?
That would be like you to look that up.
Very interesting. I'm going Denver with that defense, only giving up 74 points so far. They've only played 4. They did have a bye. And I still believe in Tennessee with Mariota on the field. If they can't get him back, they're in trouble. But he calms the look, it's amazing how much having a better quarterback also makes your defense better, because they're not on the field as much. They've given up 142, but how many of those have been without Mariota on the field? I think Mariota back puts Tennessee in as a playoff team, as a wild card, and I don't think that record's going to be very impressive. I wouldn't be surprised if a 8-8, 7-9 team got in the AFC wild card race. All right, let's go to the NFC. Boys, let's start with the NFC West. We saw the matchup between the Seahawks and the Rams this week. On the road, Seattle won the game. They're 3-2. The Rams are 3-2. Arizona at 2-3. They did trade for Adrian Peterson today. So, 3 teams in play in the West. Josh Hennig, you go first.
I've been picking the Seahawks all year long. There's no reason for me to stop now. They proved their point. They beat the Rams at their house. Remember, they lost there last year 9-6. So the fact that they even put up points against them this year is an accomplishment. So I'm saying Seahawks.
I'm in the same boat, guys. I've had Seattle in that spot every week, and the only thing that would have changed my mind is if the Rams had gone out and beat them. They did not go out and beat them, and I don't see anybody else. Obviously, the Cardinals, you know what they did against Philadelphia. The Niners aren't even in the discussion. Seattle has a terrible offensive line. It doesn't matter. They win a bad division.
I like the Rams. I'm going to stick with them. I went with them last week. I know they lost at home, but they showed they belonged. And I think that Seattle offensive line is going to rear its ugly head somewhere in this season. And I think the Rams are going to stick toe-to-toe with them. That offensive line is a disaster. I go Rams in the West. How about the South, where we've got 4 teams in play? Carolina 4-1, the defending NFC champion Falcons are 3-1. We've got the Saints at 2-2, and the Bucs at 2-2. All 4 teams in play. Pete Thompson.
All 4 teams with a positive point differential too, Mike Gill. I don't know there's another division.
There's the only division
in all of football that can do that. So
only division, Pete.
I know Josh likes those stats. Here's the thing. I stubbornly am sticking with the Atlanta Falcons. When the Atlanta Falcons are clicking, they're clicking good, and I still think that there's landmines out there for Carolina to trip over. So I know Carolina's 4-1. I know everybody's looking at Cam. 3 of those 4 wins for Carolina, by the way, all on the road, unbeaten on the road, but I still think the Falcons, their Super Bowl defending appearance, they're going to win that South.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the Falcons as well. They have the best plus-minus of that division. Also, let's not forget, they got the bye week last week. So, yeah, maybe it came at the right time. They lost to the Bills. They go in the bye week, have an opportunity to clean some things up. Julio Jones gets healthier. Sanu gets healthier. They can go down the stretch healthy.
I liked Carolina to start the year, and you guys all rolled your eyes at me. I like Carolina again. I like their defense. I think the Eagles have their hands full on Thursday night. Cam Newton looks like he's getting healthy all of a sudden from that shoulder injury. Their offense is coming around. They've won 2 in a row. I think Carolina in the South. All right. In the North, we've got 3 teams in play. Packers, Lions, Vikings. Josh.
Aaron Rodgers. RELAX. The Packers are going to win this division. Everyone else just needs to go away and relax.
It's pretty unbelievable. Not just Aaron Rodgers, Josh. I have the Packers, too. I'm at this restaurant with my dad on Sunday, and I'm saying, who is this guy? Who's this Jones guy? As he's ripping off over 100 yards. Doesn't matter. The Packers find a way to win. And, yes, ultimately, to your point, Josh, Aaron Rodgers. That was an incredible finish. Packers are the best team in that division. They've won 3 in a row, Packers.
Shame on me for going with the Lions last week. Something's wrong with me. Although they are a plus 26, their offense is still pretty good, but the Packers have Aaron Rodgers and nobody else does. In the East, we've got 3 teams in play. Eagles, Redskins, Cowboys. PT.
E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles.
Josh.
Guys, this will be the 4th straight week I go Eagles.
I got to come to that train. They're plus 38. They're playing really well, and they're doing it with injuries. A lot of teams have injuries in this league. The Eagles are persevering with them. They lost without Fletcher Cox. They lost without Ronald Darby. They've won without Fletcher Cox. They won without Ronald Darby. They've won without Wendell Smallwood. That's pretty impressive. The depth of that team right now has Philly in wild cards. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 teams realistically in play in the NFC. You could pick 2. Josh Hennig.
This is one of my 2 changes. I have Panthers in, Bucks out. I am really uncomfortable with the way that they're winning games and they're losing games. I don't like their dependency on the kicker. This is supposed to be a high-powered offense. They should be in shootouts with people, not depending on the leg of Nick Folk, who they cut in order to win them games. I'm taking them out. I'm putting Panthers in, and I'm keeping the Lions in for the 3rd straight week of my wild card.
Wow,
Thompson.
Josh and I are an exact match on that. I have the Panthers in
concert.
They can't have gone 3-0 on the road and Cam Newton with that over 100 passing yard rating and all that. Panthers and Lions are my 2 wild card teams.
I like Dallas, and I like Atlanta. I do think Dallas is still a factor in the playoff race. I like Dak. I like their run game. Dallas, Atlanta, hello. Welcome to the playoffs. That's who's in and who's out on this edition of the Sports Bash on 97.3 ESPN.